What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. Certainly, this news is not what's good, but let's actually tear this apart, depict it, and think of why this might be happening. Future Card Buddy Fight co-creator announces that Japanese card game sales dropped over 40% in September from last year. So this is all from the co-creator of Vanguard, but it's going to talk a bit about Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. Future Card Buddy Fight card game co-creator and Studio Iketi president Yoshimasa Ikeda revealed last week that the Japanese card game market achieved sales of 5.45 billion yen, around $47 million for September this year. That's all card games. An over 40% drop from September 2016, 9.34 billion yen, about 81 million. So, first off, and this is like a very specific month and time frame that they're kind of complaining and comparing about. 1 month. I would have liked to see them compare like maybe a whole stretch. And with the holiday season coming up, that's kind of the most important season in my opinion. November, December, gifts are being brought out. Some of the ultimate product gets brought out. I feel like I would have liked to see them compare the holiday season sales here. But let's continue. Ikeda noted he received his information from research firm Media Create. Ikeda attributed most of the loss to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card games dropping in sales by 52% compared to sales in September 2016. Duel Masters similarly displayed a 32% drop in sales compared to sales in 2016 of September. Yu-Gi-Oh! And Duel Masters are the #1 and #2 highest selling card games in Japan for the past 17 years. But Ikeda noted that the distance between their gross sales have never been closer this fiscal year, with Yu-Gi-Oh! Grossing 10.4 billion yen, about 91 million, from all the way from April to September. And Duel Masters grossing about 9.1 billion yen, about 79 million over the same year. So basically, Yu-Gi-Oh's dropping, Duel Masters dropping not as fast. Now, why didn't Duel Masters take off over here? If you didn't know, their anime flopped terribly over here, which is the main way to market and present a new card game. Yes, you need that anime to take off, and they subbed it as a joke. They literally just said, we're not going to go serious with the plot. Everything's a joke in this anime. I don't know if we can compete with the Yu-Gi-Oh! And the anime flopped over here and could not carry the card game at all. Thus, the new blood being brought into the card game wasn't taken as seriously, and it kind of dried up. They tried to relaunch with Kaijudo. It was on the Hub, which was more of it's a network I think that actually doesn't exist now, but like it did have other popular shows like My Little Pony that aired on it, but it just wasn't a good look for it. It needed Disney or Cartoon Network and to really take off, and again died over here. So Duel Masters and Kaijudo both could not live over here, yet it continues to see amazing success over in Japan. That's why I keep showing you guys Bobby Break. Ikeda also named Card Fight Vanguard as the third highest selling card game for April to September with 2.4 billion yen, around 21 million. Weiss Schwarz at #4 with 2.2 billion yen, so barely behind at 19 million. And Future Card Buddy Fight as #5 with 2.1 billion yen. So basically, the really disturbing data here is that compared to last year, Yu-Gi-Oh's down over half of its sales for the month of September in Japan. That's kind of scary, but I don't know their actual product releases over there or what's happening. It really feels like these sets aren't as impactful as they used to be. It's not a bunch of cards impacting. Like, we only needed the one spiral card from Circuit Break to break spirals over here. That's one card that we needed. Evenly Matched is having an impact as well. But besides that, we're not seeing a ton from Circuit Break. There's Destrudo. Yes, can you name over 10 cards slamming our meta, though? Not really. Whereas with DUEA, we had Burning Abyss. We had stuff like Satellar Knights. The next set has the Cleave Forts. We had huge impacts and changes with each set. And under the new Master Rule 4, which also is not very popular with Japan, we'll talk about that in a second, it just seems like it's really clawing at the throat of the Japanese market. The Japanese market, if you didn't know, is a lot more casual. They don't want to be forced to play one deck. And Master Rule 4, apparently, I've heard this, really hurt the market over there as a whole. They really did not like being slimmed down to choices of decks and having to play the Link mechanic. A lot of players over there have their deck and get cards they need to update and get cards they like from the anime, and it really doesn't seem like they enjoyed Link summoning as a whole. But, you know, that's every mechanic. It usually grows on you, but a lot of them, their decks are killed, and that's why you see Link Frames Pack coming out, trying to revitalize those synchro decks, trying to revitalize the game. But we keep seeing FTKs and degenerate things and really one-sided metas popping up in the Link era, and that's kind of a sign of an unhealthy game, in my opinion. We want a little bit of diversity. Not everything can be tier 0, tier 0, tier 0. From Zodiac to just a transition month, 2 spirals, we can't keep having that. But I have some theories otherwise on what might be heard in these games just a little bit. Konami made its own competition here. It's like when WWE creates Raw and SmackDown. Ooh, look, we got different brands. And then you have NXT and they create their next best competition that also feeds into them. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links came out. Why play the card game in real life when millions of users are using their phones and putting money into the game here? And you can't even get cheated. That's the best part. Your opponent's not cheating you. Or it would be really difficult to. I'm sure you have some program, and Konami actually regulates and enforces, like, I've heard that they're banning farmers from some of the top Duel Links players. I've been watching their streams more. Billy has started streaming Duel Links. A lot of people are switching to Duel Links. Konami has created its own best next competitor where you can play older Yu-Gi-Oh! You can play a few different decks. They actually just updated the Cyber Angel ban list a little bit. Like, it's crazy that Duel Links is actually perhaps what's actually hurting the game a bit. There's no way that it's not, but it's still money in Konami's pocket to where they're not going to care as much about losing from the main game. They've created a new revenue, the mobile gaming apps. And speaking of mobile games slash other online card games, a huge competitor is Hearthstone. Hearthstone is another version of the online gaming industry that is becoming a huge titan in the industry. They have huge cash tournaments. The Dream Hacks, my roommates won't stop talking about Dream Hack and what's going on there. It just seems to be a huge forefront that mobile gaming and internet card gaming might just be the next venue. We take away cheating overall. We make sure nothing wonky or crazy is going on, and we're able to play card games where we don't fear that extra level of cheating, and it may just be the future. But for a player like me, I enjoy the cards in my hand. I enjoy the collectability, but maybe it's like paperback books. They're just going to do worse and worse as ebooks go on, but I like flipping that page in my hand too. I'm old school, but as new generations of gamers come up, online card games may be a bit of the future, and it seems like Konami has already realized that as well, and they've stepped into the ring in a very big and smart way, mind you. So when I see this news of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game dropping itself, it's not that much of a surprise to me, as Konami has started to concentrate on other venues, as they've started to put their attention elsewhere. And it's not as if I'm saying they don't care about Yu-Gi-Oh! They totally care. The Link Frames Pack wouldn't be a thing otherwise. They are listening, they are trying to fix it, but at the same time you can see them splitting their own audience, splitting their venue, and finding other ways. So what do you guys think about this news? I don't think it's, oh no, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying. Like, let's be honest, Yu-Gi-Oh! Could lose 50% of its player base and it's still not dying. Like, it would still be one of the largest card games. We just had YCS Dallas happen with Spiral format, the very beginning, and we still had almost 1,100 duels. In the past Dallases, I want to say, were like 1,200 and 1,300, so it's not that big of a drop, but you would hope over time to be gaining duelists instead of losing them. But with all these other games to play, even like Duel Links, Konami's own creation, it's not a surprise that in real life attendance is slowly dropping to me, because the concentration is going other ways. Players are being converted to the other games, and I think Link summoning and complicating the game all that much more makes the barrier to entry much harder for a new duelist, where Duel Link's barrier to entry is, I just gotta grind for packs, maybe I've got to spend some money. Overall, I'll spend less lifetime on Duel Links. Let's go ahead and get into the digital world. And that's what it seems like to me. So thanks for watching. Again, guys, do tell me what you guys think. Like it if you enjoyed the conversation and my theories. And what are your theories also with it dropping? Link summoning combined with online gaming are my two main theories to this. I think online gaming is having a huge impact over there and here. I would actually like to see more data rather than 1 month mentioned and then like a gap of months mentioned without context to the other gaps of months. Like I would have liked to see the April to September data from last year versus this year instead of just comparing the Duel Masters to Yu-Gi-Oh! But I really do think that it is still a sign of health no matter what. We could look back and even see what products are released. I don't think that's the big difference. Konami should always be concentrating on its product releases month by month. There's almost a set release every month now, if not every month, with the Hidden Arsenal like sets such as High Speed Riders and Duelist packs and Millennium packs. There's like releases every month. So I don't think that it really is too dependent on the sets that release, but more so I think it is a sign a bit of the health of the game. But like I said, I'd like more data. I'd like to know more, and I want to hear what you guys think. Also, subscribe if you're new here.